3, go.
All right, shalom, shalom. To start this off, we want to give all the honor, the glory, and the praise to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kakadash.
double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone GMS who rule well and teach well, whose labors we have entered into. Peace and salutation to the 144,000 and the rest of the hopeful elect. You know, this is the Great Millstone branch of Chicago. You know, we're joined by our honored guest, the brother from the Great Millstone branch down in Orlando, Florida. You know, coming at you with another lesson on the topic of, you know, the beast mentioned in the book of Revelation, hating the whore. You know, in the last couple weeks, since this war in Iran has kicked off, you know, Trump is starting to slowly, you know, and intentionally sever all ties around him. You know, more specifically speaking, the ties that he has with his own allies, you know, being NATO and the EU. You know, early at the beginning of the year, you know, after Trump sent in the U.S. Delta Force to, you know, colonize Venezuela, he had plans on taking over Greenland, you know, a move that pissed off one of America's allies from the EU, known as Denmark. And ever since then, up until this war with Iran, you know, Trump has consistently gotten on the bad side of his own allies. You know, he even had the Prime Minister of Canada say at the World Economic Forum that the U.S.-led war was failing. So it's only a matter of time before the beast, you know, outright hates the war, you know, and joins with Russia, China, and the other affiliated big countries. But we can get into that video.
Shalom, praise the Yahweh, Shalom, 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 Kakudah, Shalom to the 144,000, rest of the elect out there, Shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle this video, New Babylon, a.k.a. America, they know the Israelites. So this is from Lisa Cabrera, entitled Iran's Animated Message to Black Americans, which are Israelites, What Does It Mean? Now, when you watch this video, you just know in your spirit that the Iranians...
It was like a day ago. See that?
Shalom, give it all praise to Yahweh, Shalom, 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 Kakudah, Shalom, tonight 44,000, let's see, left out there, Shalom to all. It's going to be a super short video, let's see where the spirit takes me. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, These Shall Hate the Whore and Burn Her with Fire. This is from Revelation 17, verse 16. You can start at the 12th verse, read on down. You can actually read the whole chapter. A lot of information in the whole chapter, but I'm going to read the whole verse. I'll read these the next two verses as well. It says, "In the 10 horns, which represents the NATO and the EU, which thou sawest upon the beast that represents NATO, these shall hate the whore that represents America, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For the Most High hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast," which is this, this union, the EU, NATO nations, and NATO nations. There are 32 NATO nations, which are the military of the beast. And then you have 28 nations, which represent the EU, the economic, political part of the beast. Until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, America, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. 800 plus military bases around, scattered throughout the world. Hold up.
Okay, so somebody get that Revelations to the kings of earth viciously. Somebody got that on deck for it. Yeah, you got it. I'm gonna start at 3.
This is Revelation 18 and verse 3. It says, "For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heavens, and the heavenly Father have remembered her iniquities."
That coming out of her is us being delivered. All right, us being delivered out of Babylon, because Babylon's going to be destroyed. This is the daughter of Babylon. Ancient Babylon ruled, had its time, and was taken over by Persia. All right, it had its time, but now this is the daughter of Babylon. So when it says, "Come out of her, my people," that's old Jerusalem meeting the Lord in the sky. All right, because Babylon's going to be destroyed by nuclear missiles. And right now, there's a lot of nations right now that are threatening them nukes, flexing them nukes. America ain't the big bully no more, man. All right, everybody a bully now. So America thought that they was just going to short cheese Iran like they did Venezuela. Run in there and take their shit and just that's it. And they took that nigga, what was the president and the wife, out of their sleep. Nigga was wearing a Nike Tech. Took his ass, you know what I mean? Walked his ass, so let's go. And Iran, they killed their leader, and they thought, okay, this is gonna be easy money. It's not. There's a lot of resistance. They even made a video, an AI video of them destroying states in America, man. All right, like Statue of Liberty, like it was New York. Hey, they called the bluff. They said, "No, this ain't that. We got help." You know. You got more than that?
Go keep going.
It says, verse 6, "Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works."
And that's going to be our spiritual power, man. How you going to get double of what Esau did to us or all the other nations? You got that, who had not had a hand?
Keep going.
Hold on, real quick. Want that, who had not had a hand?
Verse 9.
Stuff at the burn.
You want me to get it right
Smoke
now?
up.
Yeah, get it right now.
Me stuff at this.
This first Maccabees 2, and I'll start at 9. It says, "Her glorious," and this right here is after, Antiochus Epiphanes and the Seleucid Empire, colonized Jake and were stealing away the holy vessels. First Maccabees 2 and 9. "Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. Her infants are slain in the streets. Her young men with the sword of the enemy. What nation have not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils?"
Right. All these other nations have gotten spoils out of us, man. They even have something called the Archetypus. It's like a memorial that shows us in 70 AD when they kicked us out of our land and took all our resources, man. All right. The resources they took for us is what funded the Colosseum.
Okay.
So you could say Israel contributed to a landmark that people go as tourists right now, man. The Colosseum. That's what funded it, man. Our money that they stole from us, man. So all these nations, man, have had a hand in our captivity, all right, in our bondage, all right, in our sorrow. They done shed our blood, all right. All right, they all had a hand in this, man. That's why all of them are going into slavery, and why Esau gonna get the worst of it, because he gonna get rounded up like a bundle of sticks and put to fire, man. Like it tell you in the book of Obadiah.
Obadiah 1 and 18.
Go ahead up.
It says, "Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works."
Oh, and that double is that spiritual power, because like I said, what can we do to Esau and any other nation that they have done to us would make it double? It's the spiritual power, man. It's going to be on a whole nother level. All right. And it's going to make it double because it's going to be in righteousness. All right. It ain't going to be nothing profane. All right. Nothing sick. All right, nothing. It ain't gonna be no buck breaking. All right, and all that other weirdo shit that they did to us, man. All right, it ain't gonna be no. We ain't gotta afford the affliction, man. All right, everything we're gonna do is according to the Lord's anger, man. All right, the Lord said He's gonna get them according to His anger, by the hand of His people Israel. All right, this is all according to the Lord's will and His anger. I think it's King David that said, "I hate them with a perfect hatred." How? Because it's according to the Lord, man. All right, we're gonna do everything according to the book, man. Go ahead, Op.
It says, "In the cup which she hath filled to her double, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire."
Yeah, and the judgment of Babylon, the scripture says it's going to be like an hour. All right. Now, how that's according to the Lord's time. That's shit. That ain't even a full movie that you watch. 1 hour was that 2 sitcoms, two episodes of Fresh Prince. Is how fast this motherfucker gonna be fucked up, man. All right, it's gonna be that bad, and you gotta think like, what type of destruction can you bring to a land this mass? Shit, they say every state can fit in Texas. Like Texas is that big. They say like not every state, but everybody in America can just fit in Texas. They say that Texas is that much space, man. So you got like all this land that's just gonna be taken out in an hour. Think about Sodom and Gomorrah and how that's a monument to this day. You can still go see Lot's wife still fucking looking back and shit.
Dang.
You can still see her ass. She's a pillar of salt. Dang. She's still there. All right. They had a whole documentary on it, man. So it's gonna be a major rescue and destruction. You got more out?
Yeah, it says, "For strong is the Lord power who judgeth her, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament her when they shall see the smoke of her burning."
Yeah, they're gonna look at it like, damn, America's gone. Like they the ones that helped take them out, but it's gonna be like, damn, we ain't gonna be able to get that money we used to, man, because America is a merchant land. It exports. All right. Hell, even China got land over here, man. They own land on this soil, man. All right. They're not gonna be able to make bread off America no more, man. All right, and they fighting for the next power seat. Yeah, like China, nation. Huh?
I said the BRICS nations.
Yeah, they want the next power seat also. All right, go ahead.
It says, "Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come."
Right,
that's done now.
And that's that 1 hour, man. Finally over with. Babylon's through. But these other nations gonna get a rude awakening, because once Babylon's through, that kingdom's done. Our kingdom comes next. All right? Can somebody grab Esau's the end of the world? Because that's the spirit we are going to go into now. Because Babylon is synonymous with Esau. You got it?
2nd Ezra 6:9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it.
That's right. So Esau's the end of the world. Esau's the last one to reign. All right. What these niggas saying? That Esau's not it, it's somebody else. You know, and then we had to go back into captivity again.
IUIC.
Yeah, whatever the fuck they talking about. They talking about some wild shit.
It was the Japhet doctrine?
Japheth, I think it was Japheth, yeah. I think Japheth is the white man or some shit. Whatever the fuck it was, man. It's crazy.
Speaking on the end, this is 1 Peter 4:7. But the end of all things is at hand. Ye therefore sober and watch and prayer. You know what I'm saying? It's better to the end of Esau's kingdom, his rulership.
Mm-hmm. It's crumbling.
4:7. Yep.
Yeah, the way the way it was written, Babylon is falling. It is falling, man. It's going to fall just like Rome did, man. All right? And all the things that made Rome fall, America is falling. Infrastructure, all right? An influx of immigrants and things of that nature. People that don't really care about the policies and everything of the ways of Rome, like just like America. That's why they want them gone, man. They want to make America great again. When America was great is when they had full power. All right, the economic system was great. All right, and it was mostly white people in full control. They can control who they wanted to. They could segregate when they felt like it. It ain't like that no more. It's all the philosophies and everything is part of that cup, and they drinking that cup, man. All right, and they getting destroyed inside out. You got that right?
Yep. And then too, land backing off what you're saying, listing off all the issues and problems that America has, you have the biggest problem of them all, the elite billionaire class of Esau and the Amalekites. The people who are responsible for all this damage that's being done to this place in the first place, man. But then Psalms 137:7, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof, O daughter of Babylon. So right there it explicitly stated that Esau Edom represents the daughter of Babylon the Great, which differentiates the Babylon of the ancient world was controlled by the Assyrians compared to the Babylon today, which was controlled by the Edomites, the so-called white man. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against these stones. So, we're coming into the days where Babylon the Great is finally being judged for all of the things that it has done to the rest of the world, and to, most importantly, the apple of the Lord's eye, which are the Israelites, man. And happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. So, Esau Edom, this devil is gonna soon, sown what he has reaped, man. I mean, no, he's gonna reap what he has sown.
I got a precept for you, if I may.
Okay.
This is Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 7. It says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken, and the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Linking up with what we read in Revelation 18 chapter. All right, these nations are mad because now they're starting to sober up and realize what Babylon has done on a grand scheme of things. Babylon, America, has really fucked over these other nations, in a big way. And now they're starting to realize how they've been fucked over. And now they're mad. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. But like the brothers are getting into, there is no healing for Babylon. At this point, there's irreparable damage that has been done to America. Starting with the way that the elites of Esau Edom, these Amalekites, these head, elite families, starting with the way that they ran Babylon. They've really ran Babylon and the earth itself into the ground, man. And at this point, there's no way that to heal the damage that's been done here. It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even into the skies. And eventually these different people that have been amalgamated here in America, seeking a better life, coming to the so-called golden city for, a better opportunity, eventually they're going to go back to their own country. Because people are starting to realize the fate of America. They're starting to realize that America's put itself into a position that it can't get out of. And eventually this is going to lead to a third world war in which America is going to be destroyed.
That's right.
Completely and utterly destroyed, man.
And speaking on that war, is on Exodus 17 and 16. For he said, because of Yahweh has sworn that Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generations to generations. So Amalek, Esau, he's still living on planet Earth. He's not done away with right now.
That's right. Still war going on with Amalek.
Yeah.
Fucking small caps, man. They prideful as hell. They I saw something that said that, man, they it's a part of their like what they do. They walk past like the in Jerusalem or
Like they do something on the wall.
yeah, they do that. They do that, but they also spit on like where they say the Lord lived. They got a thing where they just spit on it. I'm like, what the fuck is what? Yeah, it's disrespectful as hell. It's like they just go and they spit on it, and it's like their thing, and they allow that to be happening over there. That's how you know they're not the people. That's how you know that they not it. They got a lot to they got a lot of shit that they gonna pay for. You got their numbers?
Yeah, I'm getting it right now. This is Numbers. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 24 and 17. And it says, I shall see him. He said, wait, Numbers 24:17. Numbers 24:17, right?
Yeah, I think that's
What you want?
Oh yeah, it says back. Okay.
you got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Numbers 24:17. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab and destroy all the children of Sheth. And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city.
Yeah, and it said that he shall smite the corners of Moab. That hasn't happened yet, man. All right, like all the people that had a hand in our captivity, man, they gonna get that ass whooping, man. It ain't gonna just be Esau. Esau may be synonymous with Babylon, but it's all these other nations. All right, the scriptures say, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity." All right, let's not forget about the Muslims and how they had us in captivity, man. All right.
The trans-Saharan slave.
Yeah, trans-Saharan slave trade, right? They had a hand in us going into captivity.
I think it's the scripture said in Psalms they all plot against us. You know, they counsel against us.
Oh, the Confederate?
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, and another thing too, in verse 17, that star that comes out of Jacob, that scepter that it says shall destroy the heathen, that's of course referring to, you know, the greatest man that ever walked this earth, Yahweh Shai. You know, like it says in Isaiah, the 9th chapter, you know, where it says a new governor will rise up, you know, from the seed of David. And that's going to be the ultimate high priest, you know, to bring our enemies under our foot and subdue them, you know.
So this is part of the story is Revelations 2 and 27. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and as this vessel of potter, they shall be broken to shivers, even as I receive of my Father. You know, we're going to put these heathen nations in order, in rulership, royalty, loyalty.
Read it again,
Revelations chapter 2, verse 27. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessel of the potter, they shall be broken into shivers, even as I receive of my Father.
Con. Hey, let me land back off you real quick. This is Psalms 2 and 8. Acts of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron,
Dang.
for thou shalt bash them in pieces like the potter's vessel. So, the scriptures say that these heathens are going to be our possession, man. All right, it's a part like the scriptures say in Ecclesiastes. I've seen servants on horses, man. All right, can somebody grab that real quick in Ecclesiastes? Because I don't want to butcher it. I've seen
This is Ecclesiastes
There you
10.
go.
And Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 5. No. Yeah, verse 5. So I'm going to start at verse 6. It says, folly is set in a great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. I have seen servants upon horses, and princes walking as servants upon the earth.
right, and I think that was a Roosevelt statue.
Yeah.
Where you see a Gadite on one side, and you see a Judite on the other, and you got Roosevelt sitting on that horse, and the horse represents like power and stature, And you got them kneeling down while he's just sitting up on the horse, man. All right? Like, you got the servants, our servants, ruling over us, man. And they are our inheritance, man. Think about that. Like, the next time, hey, you get vexed.
I got it.
You get vexed. Bring it up. You get vexed and think like, man, I can't stand your boss or something. Just know, eventually, you gonna inherit that motherfucker, man. Eventually, like, you gotta think about that. Like, I'm gonna inherit you. That shit make me feel good. Like, well, I'd be like, damn, bro. Like, you come back from your break late because your foot hurt because you gotta stand for 12 hours. Because they can't stand for you to lean on something or maybe cop a squat. No, up. Man, motherfucker, I'm gonna inherit you, bro. Like, you ain't getting a break. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna be no 15 minutes to get back. You ain't gonna get a break in the kingdom. Except for the Sabbath. That'll be your break. Because we can't beat your ass on the Sabbath. We gotta rest. But other than that, bro, y'all gonna be in our inheritance. We're gonna break you like the potter's clay, man. All right, we're gonna rule you like with a rod of iron, man. That's gonna be fierce. You got more on that Numbers?
So like I dropped it when I put up the photo. Yeah, Numbers 24 and 19. It says, out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion and shall destroy him that remains of the city. And this next verse is where it speaks of Amalek. It says, and when he looked on Amalek, which Amalek represents the small hats today, the people that are over there in the Holy Land, proclaiming that they're the Israelites, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nation, but his latter end, the first of the nations, Salakia. But his latter end shall be that he perish forever.
Right.
And that's the point, man. Right now, these Amalekites are considered to be the first of the nations. They control the music industry, the fashion industry, the Hollywood industry. They control a variety of organizations.
They control television, bro. Everything. You know what I mean?
And they control, politicians through the central banking system and through their lobbyists, man. Who pay these politicians to make laws in their favor and cut taxes for them. So these Amalekites are the first of the nation, but their latter end is that they're going to be destroyed forever.
You get that song?
Mm-hmm. This is Psalms 83 from the top. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. They that hate thee have lifted up the head.
The definition of tumult.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent that they are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek, and the Philistines with inhabitants of Tyre. Asher also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot. Selah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. But that was a long list that of those nations, and that came together.
So we got the definition of tumult.
Yeah, I got the Edom online. This is the definition of the word tumult, T-U-M-U-L-T, in the Edom online dictionary. It says noise, confused, disorderly, a noisy commotion, a noisy uprising as of a mob. So it says what? The nations make a tumult, which means what? There's an uprising, meaning these nations come together and they, deceitfully and secretly plot on how to, destroy us, man. Because pursuing the Judah, these heathen nations, they know for a fact that whenever we stray away from serving our power, and we obey these heathen and commit these, this folly, this idolatry, that we lose connection to our power, and therefore we have no power and no hedge of protection over ourselves, man.
Shit, it's like that movie on Trick Baby, you know, different heathens they coming together talking about the plots against
That's
Israel.
the name of the movie.
Yeah, Trick Baby.
I never knew that. I always saw the clip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, they really do sit around and
Yeah.
and come up with any kind of way to, you know what I'm saying, make Jake trip and stumble.
Get the programming.
Yep, put them in snares and holes. What else I call for, Rock?
Let's see.
Ezekiel
25 and
Yeah.
11.
Quick precept.
Yeah.
Just to back up the point I was just making.
Go.
This is Proverbs 4:16. It says, "For they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall." And that's Esau's whole MO. You know, all he does is sit back and think about ways to keep us from going off, you know, and connecting with Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Going into what the brother just mentioned in Judah, the 5th chapter, you know, the king of Moab, they came together like, listen, as long as we can keep them from going off, you know, we can overtake them. And that's exactly what these nations came together to do in Psalms 80, the 83rd chapter. They came together to keep us from you know, following the standard that the Lord left for us, you know, by the hand of Moses. They kept us from keeping that standard, and by doing so, they kept us, you know, away from the good graces of our Heavenly Father. Therefore, they were able to capture us, you know, and devour us, essentially, man. But now that's no longer the case with the remnant. You know, the remnant is returning back into the Heavenly Father.
You said that was Proverbs what?
4 and 16.
Shit, keep reading.
All right. It says, "For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence, but the path of the just is as the shining light, and that shineth more and more unto the perfect day."
God, it's because they eat, sleep, shit, wickedness. You know what I'm saying? Like they wake up, they eat, they drink it down, man. It's like a meal to them, man. It's like their favorite meal is just to make sure somebody stumbles, man. All right, that's why the scriptures say they're the border of wickedness, meaning like anywhere they enter or wherever they stay, it's just gonna be wickedness, man.
It's in Malachi.
The real illegal.
Malachi 1, yeah.
So they should turn kill and desolate places.
Yeah, and that's why the Lord hates them. Like, can you make a crooked thing straight? He made vessels for honor and a vessel for dishonor. All right, the Lord just hates evil. All right, so he made Esau to be the wicked. All right, he can never love Esau.
Oh, he's the hammer of the earth.
Right, the hammer of earth. He created him to be that. He created him to be the whooping stick.
Right.
All right. The Lord just showed that he could create the most base nation and make them rule the earth. But just to show you how base he is by how he does it, man. All right.
And also to show his power.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's really basically his power. That's how he did it. Just to show you I can make the most base nation. I didn't even give them melanin. You know? The ultimate creation I got, the sun, which is supposed to be good for you, vitamin D, good for your skin, good for you to get out, healthy for you. Yeah, they can't stand that shit, bro. They can't be out there in the sun like that. It'll fuck their skin up, man. They'll die from that shit, man.
They use suntan lotion.
Right. Go ahead,
Come on, you want the Malachi?
Yeah.
You can bring out.
Yeah, it's Malachi 1:1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord, yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. You know, so as you said, you know, the Lord hates evil. You know, scripture said, hate the evil, love not the good, and the Lord hates
Love the good.
Esau Edom. I mean, hate the evil, love the good. But the Lord hates Esau Edom. He's that ultimate wicked creation. Verse 4, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
We'll get that definition in the nation. I got Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. This is the matter is by the decree of the watcher and the demand by the word of the Holy One to the internet, that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of man and give it to whosoever he will set it up over it, the base of man. You know, that's Edom. He gave the rulership to Esau. You know, Esau got the fatness of the earth. And this is Job 30 and 8. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were vowed in the earth. And I got Genesis 36 and 8. Thus dwell Esau in the mountain Seir. Esau is Edom. So Mount Seir, you know, the mountains, you know what I'm saying?
The nations.
The nations, yep.
Esau's first dwelling place.
Yeah.
You know, and when you look at the structure of Mount Seir, you compare it to buildings of you compare it to the Roman Colosseum, and you compare it to the White House in America today. That's how you understand that it's all the same people, just different time frames and different generations, man. The same building patterns, the same arches, you know. And Rome in America, what was the main symbol of Rome in America? It was the eagle for Rome and for America, and Egypt as well. You know, in America, that's why America is mentioned in Revelation, the 11th chapter, as spiritually Sodom and Egypt.
Did you get that in the nation?
Indignation, Strong's H2194. It says to denounce, express indignation, to be angrily indignant, to be defiant, to be abhorrent. It says to curse.
So basically, he just mad at Esau.
If I'm not mistaken as well, that definition goes into righteous anger.
Yeah, that's what I believe. I don't know that. I don't know why they say that.
Yeah, it's a righteous anger that the Lord has, because, like we read, the Lord has allowed Esau to stack up his sins into the heavens. You know, initially, you're not supposed to be able to get away with this much wickedness. So the Lord allowing Esau to get away with this much wickedness and the judgment that's going to proceed is righteous. The Lord is justified in wiping the so-called white man completely off the face of the planet, because what he's been allowed to do on the earth is more than the Babylonians were allowed to do, more than the Egyptians were allowed to do, more than the Persians, the Medes, all of these different nations that had their time in rulership. They were never allowed to amass this much wickedness. So what the Lord has coming for the so-called white man is completely justified. It's righteous indignation, man.
Right.
It probably did say that before. For all we know, Esau could have went in the blue letter and changed it.
That's what
They changed so many things.
They do
that's
that.
what I'm looking for. I didn't.
They changed so many definitions.
No, if you want to look to see if I don't, maybe I ain't see it. Maybe, you know what I'm saying?
You got that Ezekiel?
Yes, sir. I got it in Ezekiel too. There's Ezekiel 25 and 11. This is the Lord speaking. It says, "And I will execute judgments on Moab, and they shall know that I am the Lord. Thus saith the Lord power, because Edom have dealt treacherously against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon him. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom and cut off man and beast from it. I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall from the sword." And Teman and Dedan, those are just, you know, cities in Edom. You know, because when the scriptures, when it talks about cities, it's always referring to the people before the place that the people inhabited. You know, so these Edomites are going to pay, you know, for what they've done, and vengeance will eventually come upon them. Verse 14, "And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord power." So vengeance is going to be laid upon Edom by Yahweh, by Shinal Shai, and by his own people, who he's gonna put his anger in us to come down upon Esau, Edom, with great wrath, as he did to us, man. That's the Isaiah 14 where it says, "They shall take them as captives, whose captives they once were."
Look at the battle weapons of war. Israel will be a part of that war.
Jeremiah 51 and 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms, and with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider. With thee also will I break in pieces man and woman, with thee will I break in pieces old and young, and with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid. I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock, and with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen, and with thee will I break in pieces the captains and his rulers. Essentially everything that our enemy got. Ain't nothing is getting salvaged.
Right.
This is because sometimes the Lord, he say, all right, just kill all the soldiers, unalive all the soldiers, take the spoils of war, the oxen, the women, whatever's left. And then sometimes everything has to be destroyed because we don't know what these heathens done with. They probably done molested them animals, and the law say that you gotta do away with these animals that been, touched the wrong way. Or whatever, they done put some kind of idols or something crazy on some spoils. You can't take that. That gotta be gone. And Jacob get messed up. They try to take that Babylonian guard. It had to be bad. For him and his whole family get killed for it.
Damn.
That shit had to be wrong.
bro. Jake, man.
That shit had to be some fly ass shit. Like niggas like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Right here,
but this shit leather. You know what I'm saying? Like, for you to risk that, goddamn, Jake ass ain't shit.
But for all we know, what they probably did on it, some orgies, some sacrifices to idols, something very unclean with pork juice.
and whatever it was against the Lord, and the Lord gave an order and didn't execute it.
Yeah, that nigga Khan from the tribe of Judah, his whole family got smoked at the Babylonian garden.
Going off.
Man.
But that just goes to show, man, the Lord using us as his battle axe and also as his voice. Because the Lord said when he comes back, it ain't going to be no peace. It's going to be a sword. Not that I come to bring peace on earth, but a sword. See, right now it's talking. Because the Lord said, if this had been my kingdom, my servants will fight. It's not time to fight. The Lord said, wait upon me till I raise up to the prey. See, right now, we talking right now. But eventually, it's going to get physical. Right now, we're talking. Right? But the Lord is going to plead with really the earth. And plead meaning judge, man.
Well, they had the Black Panthers. They tried to do something about it. So Esau powers. Esau was blessed with the sword and stuff like that. He's the red horse. He got all types of weapons and military force, nuclear warheads. Military strategists.
Mm-hmm. He weaponized everything. Yep. He weaponized your woman in marriage against you. He weaponized your kids. DCFS say you abuse them. Mm-hmm. He weaponized your food, poison it. Take the seeds out the fruits of grapes. Right. He weaponized the air you breathe and the water you drink with fluoride and chemtrails. Mm-hmm. He is that blessed anointed cherub that covered. Yep. He has that blessing of the sword. He done blessed weaponized medications, everything. Whatever you need. He done turned it into a way to unalive you. And that's why the Lord said, you're going to tread on these serpents and scorpions. Because if he didn't give us that power, we would have been done.
Mm-hmm. We would have been in Sodom.
That's why he's feeding things up for the elect sake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like what you wanted, the Jacob worm.
Yeah, get that.
Isaiah 41:14, fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel, I will help thee, saith the Lord Yahweh, right. And thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. So yeah, we do need help from this devil. Right. Everything I just listed, that's just probably the little bit of what he done devised to destroy us with. Mm-hmm.
They got these extremists and stuff like that. Talking about, we got all these guns, all these bullets. We gonna do when you run out of bullets. We gonna do when we run out of food. They doomsday preppers and stuff. You need your Yahweh.
Mm-hmm. Esau got a drone.
Right.
He hop on his PlayStation controller.
Yeah.
He looking at you.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's a nice toy. Oh, too bad.
They did that shit in the movie Sicario,
Okay.
and they showed like I don't know if he was Ethiopian or Kush or whatever dude was, but he was showing the one of the agents was showing him his house while he was sitting in some trailer. Like, yeah, this is your house. You know, there goes your family. You know what I mean? If I press this button, I'll blow this shit up. And he had a drone just sitting over his house, recording it live. And he didn't give him his information. He hit that button, that motherfucker, he sent that strike in there, bow, it's over with. Like, like, you can't beat him, you know, with his own shit. They got night vision. Like, you think you're going to be hiding in the dark?
Vision.
Yeah, you can't, bro.
These motherfuckers got nano drones.
Bro, like it's over with, man. Your ass is cooked, bro. Like you can't beat him, bro. Like, you're just not gonna beat him naturally. It's gonna be a supernatural thing to how the Lord is gonna get us out of this shit. Brothers be having dreams where they get their doors kicked in, and they think they being seen, but they're not even being seen. Like the fucking soldiers walking right by them, don't even see them. Like, the Lord gonna deliver us through miracles, man. It's gonna be a lot of miracles being put out here, man. For when the Lord, before the Lord returns, man.
This is Revelation 6 and verse 4. It says, "And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword." Keep reading.
You want to break it down?
Oh yeah. And that red horse is going into Esau Edom, man. You know, he was given power to take peace from the earth. And we've seen exactly how he's done that through, like, brothers are getting into putting fluoride in the water, weaponizing all of the natural necessities of life. All right, he's taking peace from the earth and pursuing the song, Isaiah 24. Now the curse has devoured the whole earth as a result, man. You know, this man has completely weaponized everything that the Lord said was good and flipped it, man. And in doing so, he's taking peace from the earth, and he was given a sword to do so, man. You know, he was given the power.
God, and name one nation he ain't war with. Name he doesn't war with nature. He war with trees, life, so-called extinct animals, right, and species. He war with every nation. You go down the list. He's bombing Ishmael still, and Carmenians, right? He done went over to India, oppressed Elam in the British Empire. He oppressed Jake for sure. He done oppressed Japheth over there in the Aborigines of Australia. He's war with Moab and Ammon. There's not one nation on the list you can't say this man has had a problem. He has taken peace from the earth in every way.
And I had this piece of info to back you up, Eli. Hey, when you look at America's history, you know, because America has its 250th year anniversary on July 4th, you know, that America was established in 1776, you know, we're in 2026. Mm-hmm. This info from AI Overview, it said, depending on the definition of war, formal declaration versus military engagement, the United States has only been at peace for a small portion of its history. Estimates suggest that the U.S. has been at war for roughly 90 to 93% of its history since 1776, meaning it has only not been at war for about 15 to 20 years in total.
Damn.
And that's probably if you're not including, more likely that's if you're not including the psychological warfare that they put on Jake. 15 years, I wouldn't even give them that. Because you said, the AI said like 97% of their existence is war. It's safe to damn near say that it's 100% at this point.
Yeah, but you got another article right here. The U.S. has been at war 222 years out of 239. So, man, this devil, man, is continually gathered together for war. He has a military presence all over the Middle East, which it's seeming like that shit is going to go out the window because Iran is destroying those military bases. And if they end up surrendering, which is, you know, highly unlikely considering his pride, what do you think Ishmael is going to do? He's going to tell Esau to take all his military bases and all of his soldiers and get the fuck out of there. You know, take that shit somewhere else. Then the so-called Middle East, you know, West Asia is going to belong to West Asia only. And the only presence America's going to have after NATO severs ties is going to be what? Israel. So World War III is going to be America and Israel versus literally everybody else, man. You know, the BRICS nations and the raging dragons of Arabia, man. It's over with for this place.
He just had Trump come out with that statement. He said, "You don't need nobody else." He said, "We don't need no allies. Yeah, we good."
We'll see about that.
Yeah, like you said, we'll see. You know, because right now the Lord is isolating Israel and America on the world stage, man, and it's all going according to prophecy because them two are the only ones that are by themselves at this point, man. Everybody else around about them is gathering together to come against them, man. It's going according to Bible prophecy.
And then what is all this stuff Trump posting on his Twitter? He posted some crazy stuff talking about praise due to Allah. He
Yeah,
bugging
his
out.
ass tweaking,
He
bro.
bugging out, and for him to say, I didn't know he said that we good with our allies. That's something that somebody say when they on their last leg, like they about to just get their ass whooped. Like, fuck it, I don't need no friends. I'll take all these. What's up?
Right.
Like that's something that somebody prideful say before they get humbled.
Pride, a haughty spirit come before a fall.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fake pride too. Like, bro, these Edomites, these elites, the elite global international bankers, these people are panicking behind closed doors when nobody's looking. You know, I imagine that Trump and these Edomites, I imagine that they can't sleep at night, man. You know? Especially when you see them on TV, these people are deteriorating, man. You look at them, you look how stressed out they look, looking like they ain't had no adrenochrome in a while. It's over with for these devils, man.
Looks like we'll get the blood soon.
Yeah, they probably on the Epstein list. They probably on some kind of list.
You know they on that list.
They probably because it may not just be an Epstein list. It might be another list where they done sold out, did some wicked behind closed doors. So of course they can't sleep. They shaking. Like no, they should be afraid. Fear is for the wicked. It belongs to them.
But ultimately, this is good news for the hopefully the elect. All these prophecies popping off and everything. It's all good luck. It's all a good look.
I got that video I was talking about.
Con.
Some are very enthusiastic and some are less than enthusiastic. And I assume some will not do it. I think we have one or two that will not do it that we've been protecting for about 40 years. Why are we protecting countries that don't protect us? And I've always felt that was a weakness of NATO. We were going to protect them, but I always said when in need, they won't protect us. We don't need anybody. We're the strongest nation in the world. We have the strongest military by far in the world. We don't need them. But it's interesting. I'm almost doing it in some cases, not because we need them, but because I want to find out how they react. Because I've been saying for years that if we ever did need them, they won't be there.
Damn.
Yeah, kind of go with that.
Bring it up.
This from Elder Malcolm Channel 2, GMS, Maccabean Spirit.
Okay, so let's go back to the videos, and we'll play part 2 now. It's 3 minutes long.
He pause and think, maybe I should have talked to my allies before launching a major military operation in the Middle East? No, of course not. This is Donald Trump we're talking about. He went on the attack. He accused France of blocking military equipment. He attacked France and the United Kingdom throughout the day. He basically threw a tantrum like a child who got told he can't have dessert and then flipped the table over. And then, and this is the part that should make every American sit up straight in their chair, Trump said the United States should consider withdrawing from NATO. Let me say that again so it really lands. The President of the United States suggested that America should pull out of the military alliance that has been the backbone of Western security since 1949. an alliance that was specifically created to prevent the kind of catastrophic global conflicts that killed tens of millions of people in the first half of the 20th century. Trump wants to throw that in the garbage because France wouldn't let his planes fly over their country for a war he started without asking anyone. And it wasn't just Trump. Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, went on Fox News and echoed the exact same thing. And I want to break down what Rubio said because the framing he used is so dishonest, so manipulative, that it deserves to be pulled apart word by word.
That's what Esau
Rubio
does.
said, and I'm paraphrasing the substance here, that he used to be one of the strongest defenders of NATO in the Senate because he saw value in it. He said NATO wasn't just about defending Europe, it was about having military bases in Europe that allowed the US to project power around the world. But now, he said, if NATO means we can't use those bases when we need them, then what's the point? Then it's a one-way street. Then we're just there to defend Europe, but when we need help, they say no. Here's the...
And
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, the pride of this devil, man, he's getting exceedingly, more wicked and prideful by the day. And eventually, all of Babylon's allies, pursuant to that revelation, are all going to hate the whore. And be honest, behind closed doors, they hate the whore already. But it's only a matter of time before they go out on mainstream and they declare that they're severing ties from Trump, for getting into this illegal war, and disregarding their partnership all these past few years in favor of themselves, man.
You got that feeble. It should be like David.
Oh, yeah,
You know what I
Connie,
mean?
yes, sir. Zechariah chapter 12 and verse 7. And this is referring to, the great deliverance that's soon to come, of Yasharallah, the Israelites. The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first, the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. In that day the Lord shall defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, and the angel of the Lord before them. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that are come against Jerusalem. And like the brother read in that Psalms, the 83rd chapter, these Edomites, from these various dynasties like, America, Britain, which are both a part of NATO, these Edomite nations that are currently, having disputings and rivalries amongst each other, verbal altercations. These are the dynasties that have done much harm to the Israelite nation, many, many years ago and even to this very day. And eventually the Lord is going to allow, his full wrath, not allow, but he's going to come down upon Esau, Edom with great wrath, man, and destroy each and every last one of them and give his men the power.
Anybody in the last precept or you got still going?
Yeah, Khan. Baba Bushah, can you get Psalms 149 and 3?
Yes, sir. This is Psalms 149 and verse 3. It says, let them praise his name in the dance. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and harp. For the Lord taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation.
Right, and all that's been prepared for us, man. The Lord said, go, I prepare a place for you, man, when he was on the cross. All right, and the world to come is made for few, not for many. So that salvation is on the way. All right, it's going to be like a dance. It's going to be like a great day of knowing that it's over, knowing that Babylon is through, and there is no more. There won't be. Lord said He's going to take away. He's going to wipe away every tear. All right, death and hell going to be thrown in the lake of fire. Like it's going to be all gone eventually. But we got to go through these prophecies first. Right now, there's rumors of war. Right now, it's cooking right now. Eventually, the MOTB going to be established. And the hour of temptation. But we got to get through all that to get to this. Go ahead.
Verse 4. For the Lord taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their hand. in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people.
Right. So, like I said earlier, he who that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. The Lord, in that parable, he said, "Bring them hither, slay them before me, those that would not, like bow." Roughly paraphrasing, man. All right. Like like that nigga Benny Siegel said, you gonna get down and lay down. All right. And all these other heathens, man, they're gonna have to get down, and they're gonna lay down too. Go ahead.
Verse 5, it says, "Let the saints be joyful in glory, let them sing aloud upon their beds, that the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and the two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles in fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written, this honor have all his saints, praise ye the Lord."
Right, and that's what the saints are waiting on. The saints are Israelites. All right, but those that made it, of the 144,000 and the 1/3, Lord have mercy upon, the ones he selected for mercy. All right, those are the ones that are going to be singing and dancing. All right, like we like, this is not our rest right now. All right, we just, like I tell you in the book of Hebrews 4th chapter, we're laboring into our rest. Like, we're working for what we want. We're all working for the same penny, but we're working for it, man. It ain't the time to be dancing and singing right now. That's on the way. But right now, prophecy's popping off. We gotta work. We gotta prophesy. We gotta make these videos. We gotta hit the streets. All right, until the end. All right, and the end is we in the last bit, man. All right, we right there. So just hold on. Don't fall out now. God damn it, we right at the end. So just stay strong and keep going. Send us out.
God, we hope this lesson was edifying, and we want to give all honor, all glory, and all praise to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
That belongs to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone GMS who will teach well. Kwame Sha'ala.
Kwame Yasha'Allah.
Wa Abba Ball.
Ball.